Hello everyone! After yesterday I did a quick video trying to answer a few basic things that I've seen confusing to people, but it's come to my attention that's not quite enough. So you know what, we're just going to jump straight into doing a full proper tutorial to try and teach people how do you handle Operation Siren. No blah blah here today, we're going to get straight into it. So first things first, how do you leave maps? I've seen some misconceptions and just downright confusion when it comes to this. First things first, I want to say, your fleets do not need to be on the edge of the map for you to leave a map. Watch. I can click out here. I can click over here. And as you can see, enter zone. I can enter that zone. But wait, you might say, why can't I do that sometimes? Simple. If you are currently in a sector that you've not finished yet, then that's when you need to come to the edge of the map and have this little white square here to be able to leave. It's essentially how you quote-unquote retreat a hostile sector that you've not secured. But if you've secured a sector, you don't have to be on the edge of the map. Next thing I want to touch on this topic, I've seen quite a few people get lost. They'll finish a sector and then not be sure what to do. The game doesn't make it immediately obvious that they're good to leave, so they're not certain if they should leave or if there's something else they should do. Let me answer this really quickly and simple for you. If your ship girl can go anywhere on the map, like this right here, if you can see the entire map, it's all lit up, that means you have finished that sector, you've secured it, and you are safe to leave. You are good to go. Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. You're good to go. Now then, since we were looking at this map view here just a moment ago, let's look at it again and touch on combat effectiveness here. It's going to show you a number here and basically put that is corrosion level. Corrosion level is basically put the game recommending how hard a content you probably should or shouldn't take on, although its ability to be accurate about it seems pretty bad. It's telling me I shouldn't take on anything above a corrosion level 3, but I took it on corrosion level 5 numerous times in my stream yesterday and was perfectly capable of doing it. I'm not super certain how good it is at actually truly estimating that, but it's probably based off of your adaptabilities. You earn these off of these strange, somewhat triangular looking weird things that are on the map here. If you go to these sectors that have these, you are going to be able to earn some adaptability, and that's pretty important to your ability to, well, get stronger, basically take on more stuff more easily. And then since we're on that notion, I also want to bring up this. When you see a chest like this means what is called a fractured sea has appeared at that sector. So if you go to that sector, you will not actually go to that sector. You will instead go to a procedurally generated fractured sea. And once you complete that fractured sea, it disappears and it will not count as you completing the sector if you've never completed a sector before. So I just want to bring that up real quick as a side note. Now then, we're going to jump back into the port as there's quite a few important things we want to touch on here. There's loads of things you can do in here and they're very, very important. First things first, information. This right here will give you the mission hub and story progress. Basically put, this is going to tell you what you should be focusing on doing next. Simple. You can click fleet details and we can click one of our ship girls here, right? We have all our ship girls here. You have your info screen. And as you can see, there's a whole other thing we can do here. Wait. How'd I do that, right? Because normally all you can do is move them around, you click them, you can come into this menu here though, and we can actually change their gear in this menu here. So you can change their gear straight from Operation Siren itself. There's no need to hit that home button and, you know, there's no need to go a big old loop to change gear on your girls. There's a quick and easy way to do it right here in one of your port areas. Now, the most important thing of all, for me at least, is actually coming over here. You need to come to these yellow squares surrounding one of the ports, and when you get that, a new thing will appear. Enter port. Let's click that. When you have this screen, you're in somewhere that's really important. You have the mission screen, although you don't get missions until after you've completed the story, so bear that in mind. That's why you won't see missions. But you also have more going on in here. You have the resupply, in other words, the store. And bear in mind, each individual port has its own stores that, you know, refresh and whatnot. So every three-ish days when the refreshes come around and whatnot, you're going to want to come here and, you know, you go to all your stores, get your loot. There's loads of loot to be obtained. You're going to want to go to all the different stores and make sure that you're getting your loot. Don't be missing out on your loot, guys. Seriously. That right here is a very important screen, though. It basically opens up a Pokemon Center-esque looking screen of all the girls that you're currently deploying, and you can click this if you need to repair them. You can come back to port and repair them with this screen right here. You don't have to use regroup and rest. Regroup and rest is nice when you're on a hard sector that you don't want to retreat from. That's fine in, you know, Fantasy. But otherwise, no, you don't want to be clicking that. Don't waste your action points on that. You can come here to the port, and all it costs to repair them at the port is Operation Supply coins, which you earn like candy, so no big deal to be had here. Now then, since we were looking at this screen, let's look at this screen a little bit more, as this right here is a very important button that quite a few people don't seem to realize was here all along. Fleet deployment. This is where you come to edit your fleets. That's how that's going to work. Now, you don't have to be actually in the yellow tiles for that part. You just simply need to be coming to your port and whatnot as a whole. And then to that extent, since I know some people are going to see it and they're going to ask questions, how do you have 4 fleets? Simple. Progress the story and get to Liverpool. When you first get into Operation Siren and you're only at New York City, you don't have 4 fleets right away. But as you progress the story and you unlock Liverpool, that is when you reach the point of having 4 fleets. And as you continue to progress the story, you start unlocking additional features and whatnot. So basically, if there's a feature getting shown off here and you're like, I don't have that, where do I get that? Guarantee you it's because you haven't progressed the story enough. Just go progress the story some more and you'll get more and more features of Operation Siren to unlock for you. It's just that simple. There's nothing super complicated about that. That stated, I want to bring up a few other things as far as when you are on maps. As you can see right here in this little radar thing, we see a anchor icon right there actually. And as we can see, when we move around, it moves around too. Here's a fun fact. Not only are you able to scan to find hidden loot, hidden caches automatically show up on this little radar thing and you'll move towards them. So you don't always necessarily have to use your scanning to find those little hidden caches. That's just a little fun fact that I noticed. Also, you will notice paw prints appear on the map. Always do your paw prints. If I catch any of you not doing your paw prints, I will hunt you down and slap you with a freaking fish. Seriously. When you see a paw print on the map, park one of your ship girls on it, a little menu prop itself up and ask you if you want to send your Meowficer off down in there to find loot. You're gonna hit yes. It's free loot. Never turn down free loot. If I have to explain why not to turn down free loot, I don't know if you're playing the right game. Now, let's touch on Ash's Showdown. I have to hear you here so we can try and actually touch on some things here. There's a lot of confusion that's happened for people surrounding how to get Hear You meta and how the mechanics of this actually work. From what I've seen, this is where people are actually getting the most confused, which is unfortunate in terms of how unintuitive this has all been. So, I said in yesterday's video, get yourself a Hear You, right? Like I've done here, and put her up for others to fight. How do you do that? People were asking. Simple. When you get 100 of the Ashes stuff, you get this little question mark looking thing that you can click that will then pop Hear You up right here. And you have Start Battle and you have Request Support. It's right here. It's just that simple. Please request support from, and you know, you can just do, just let your friends do it. Just let your guild do it. You can just let the world do it, or any combination thereof. If you're not in a active, popular guild, put it to the world, or maybe just put it to all, truth be told. But if you're in an active, good guild, put it to your guild only. Only let your guild mates do it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Look at this, participants 1 of 30. You're automatically 1. 29 other people will get a chance to participate. Once that's filled, the chance goes away. Or if you hit start battle, it goes away. So if I put this hear you up for my guild, I'll do that right now. And I wait, guildmates will start to become participants and get their own rewards. I'll get rewards out of it too. It's very co-beneficial, and I'm making sure only my guildmates are getting access to this Hear You, which is a good idea to be doing. But let's say after a little while, 4 of my guildmates participate in this. So we reach 5 out of 30 participants, and I then hit start battle. Well, guess what? The moment I hit start battle, this Hear You as an opportunity for my guildmates or anyone else to face goes away. Once you do that, she goes away. If you hit start battle or it reaches maximum participants, she will go away for people to actually be able to work with. And speaking of which, that's a great segue into your 3 other daily attempts, because you get 2 attempts at your own Hear You, 3 attempts at other Hear Yous, right? Super simple. You click boss list right here and bam, we have all this right here. Oh, that's neat. And I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that you'll come over here and you'll hit start battle, and half the time, look at that, coordinates have expired, please try another target. The reason why that is happening is for the reason I just explained. Basically put, it's saying that because that means that particular Hear You I just tried taking on either reached its maximum 30 participants, or the person that put the Hear You up battled her, meaning she's gone. She's gone. And so what do you do then, since there doesn't seem to be a good way to, you know, sort through these to make sure you're finding a Hear You can actually fight? Well, it's simple. Just tap the shit out of this. It will sort through them. Speaking of which, I am getting amazingly unlucky. I'm just going to use my clicker on this. Okay, as you can see, I got amazingly unlucky. None of the ones that popped up for me were actually available for me to take on. If any of them were available for me to take on, what would have happened is it would have brought up my fleet that I want to use on the Hear You, and then I'd get to battle that said Hear You. But if none of them are currently available any longer, you'll just get this. It's pretty crap, I know. I'm not personally a fan of this system. I'm not saying this is a good system. Look, guys, I'm just here trying to explain how it works. But going through these methods is how you and your friends and your guildmates and other people out there are going to get the most rewards. It's how you're going to deal the most damage to her, etc., etc. This is how you want to be doing your Hear You meta. If you're doing it any other kind of way, I'd seriously recommend stop it. Get some help. Last but not least, I want to touch on one other little side fact that I've seen some people bringing up. Look, this is a new game mode. It's not going anywhere. The only thing that's going anywhere is Hear You meta, and you have 3 months to obtain Hear You meta. So there'll probably be essentially put seasons quotation marks, if you catch my meaning, of Operation Siren, and we'll probably get different chances at getting different ashes, as it's called. There's a reason why this is called Ashes Showdown. It's like a whole new faction of sorts. It's the altars, if you will, and so we're probably going to have quote-unquote seasons of it. So we'll have Hear You for 3 months, and then we'll probably move on to Altar Enterprise, or Altar Takao, or Altar Arc Royal. Can't remember her name there for a second, so sorry. Something along those lines. And it'll probably be a rotation, meaning the Hear You meta will probably come back around sooner or later at some point. But seriously, you have a whole 3 months to obtain her, and this game mode, it's not an event, it's permanent. This is a new game mode. I just want to stress that because I've seen a few people getting confused even on that, actually. Anyways, I hope this video helps at least a few people to better understand what they're doing in Operation Siren. I know it's a really big game mode, and it's definitely left a lot of people really confused, and there isn't all that many resources out there just yet explaining it. But well, here we are, I guess. My video is up. Of course, again, I'm pretty certain other great YouTube channels like Ashley Meta or Justic or Justice. I'm not super certain how you're supposed to say his name, but he does, you know, loads of great tutorial videos and stuff too. He recently did one on Operation Siren himself, actually. So, you know, between me and other channels like that, hopefully we'll be able to keep you guys up to date and far, far away from confusion when in regards of Operation Siren. I hope you're having fun in Operation Siren, and I'll see you all really soon.